Hello, friends! Here we are with episode 3. We are just cruising through. No, okay, we're going at like a normal pace. Well, we're going at the pace we went 10 years ago, which is twice a week. Is it weird that the days are different? It's a little weird for me because the show was like Mondays and Thursdays, right? I think it was Mondays and Thursdays. Now it's Saturdays and Tuesdays. Anywho, if you would like to support me, you can head over to my Patreon. You can get extended versions of these episodes and some bonus content, as well as tons of other kinds of content that I make for my patrons. I'm very excited that today I have my first guest. And that guest is actually the first person other than me to appear on the Lizzie Bennet Diaries. My name is Ashley Clements.
And my name is Julia Joe, and this is the Look Back Diaries.
Ooh, a theme song. Got a little theme song. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. You're cracking me up during that intro.
It's so lovely to see you. I was thinking about this. Aging is neutral, first of all. There's nothing wrong with aging and looking different. But I did have the thought, I think that Julia would win Least Changed Award.
What? You were making me a little bit nervous with the whole aging. Let's get into it. What are you talking about?
Well, because no shade to anyone who like does look different. I look quite different. Aging is
yes,
not bad.
Time has passed. Clearly,
time has passed. But I think
we all look great.
We all look great. No.
I love this hair, by the way.
I think that you look the same. Thank you.
I do not look the same. Thank you very much. Yes, I don't think I got to tell you in person. Like I love this short hair look on you. The short beachy waves. I will say my hair is probably maybe even longer than it was when I was Charlotte, because after the show I chopped it all off. Kind of.
You did for a while.
Not quite your length, but chopped it off and was rocking the long bob for quite a while, and then this is just like kind of pandemic hair.
Do you still have the undercut?
I do, yeah, it's there.
That's different. Charlotte didn't.
That is also different. Yeah, but I think she would have eventually made her way to an undercut. No, maybe not.
No, she's very, very cool.
Maybe.
Super cool. Do you want to check in with Charlotte? When was the last time you watched this?
Oh my gosh, it's really. I don't know if I've watched it. I don't know if I've watched it since we finished the show, honestly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we'll see what you remember.
We shall.
As we look back.
Look at you.
Look at
you. And
my mother is that she loves a good
all the makeup.
All the makeup. Should we talk about the makeup a little bit?
We have talked about the makeup, but you can talk about whatever you want.
Oh no, if you've already talked about the makeup.
Well, I just talked about that it was too much, and then we made it less.
Yeah. But then I remember also like wanting to like justify it, like, okay, this is how we're gonna look, but maybe that was also like Lizzie and Charlotte thinking we're gonna be on camera, so we should look camera ready.
A lot of the fan canon is that they decided that like, oh, she was just trying too hard, and so
and then
we were all wearing more makeup at first, and here we are.
Oh my gosh,
you make a fantastic Mr. Bennet.
So much acting with the hat acting.
Which I forgot, but that is a thing in Pride and Prejudice.
Huh.
Oh yeah, we used to do graphics and things. But yeah, there's like a short moment where in the book where they think that Bingley might be interested in Charlotte. So that's the nod to that. This is also. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say that's the dress that I wore in Lizzie's profile picture, which I checked is still up, like on her Twitter.
I wish those characters were still tweeting. Like, I kind of want to know what's going on.
Yeah, catch us up.
Yeah,
come on, Jay.
What's been going on?
Let's get Jay and Alexandra on the case.
You know, if Lizzie Bennet randomly like tweeted like, "Hey guys, what I miss." You could maybe break.
She just took a 10-year, well, I guess at this point 9-year hiatus from Twitter.
Yeah,
kind of weird thing to do.
to meet you so that you can
Oh, look
eventually
at us in
marry
our
one of
little
our
costume
daughters.
pieces.
Because
I know.
accomplished,
And
even
to
smart.
be fair, this is
My
when
Lizzie
Lizzie had
is
also
getting an
not met
advanced degree in
Bing. So this
masculine
is
No,
Lizzie's
we had,
research will lighten
idea
unemployment
of
so she
Bing.
could use a rich
And
right.
this
man
is,
like you.
this is how,
What if I'm looking for something
like,
more
we
than
were
a
trying
trophy
to
wife?
cover the
Well,
part of
for
the
Jane
book
is quite the
where
fascinating woman with
Mr.
a
Bennet
nice
has to
ponytail
go
in her
meet,
arm. And word around
you know,
campus that my
the
youngest,
Bingleys
Leah,
before it
is
would
a bit
be
of a slut.
socially appropriate for the women to go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we've
Oh,
insulted.
My sister
shouldn't
Leah
have
is
used that word.
I should not have.
No,
This
I don't
is
know if that
just
would even fly.
So next
I
week,
don't even know if we
my
could
friends,
even
the
get away with that
Gibsons, are
much
marrying off one of their
in
daughters,
these
which serves as
times.
another eagle
it's a
kiss
controversial
to my mom
topic,
about
but
Mm-hmm.
like
single her daughter.
Lizzie
But
is
there's
supposed to
hope
be
because
wrong.
Bing Lee is a friend
But
of the
yeah,
Yeah.
family,
but
so
Lizzie is
now apparently
very she's very wrong in also like a 2012
So
way.
tune in
Like,
next
do I think we would do it
Mm-hmm.
differently in
week.
2022?
Matchmaker
Sure.
wedding.
Wow,
Mm-hmm.
so many
Marry a millionaire
graphics.
Yeah, I kind of missed that. I guess we phased out the graphics and charts at a certain point, huh?
But for
We
now,
did. I mean, partly because like also the conceit at the beginning was that Charlotte was editing the videos,
Right,
and
right.
once she wasn't, like no one else
Yeah.
was going to do graphics.
Right. Charlotte was getting
Um,
kind of too busy. Sorry, everyone. Sorry for slacking off on the charts and graphics. For any of the fans who really missed those.
rude, honestly. Like
I frankly forgot we had charts and graphics. My bad.
I forgot that like we did this whole thing where like Charlotte's editing these vlogs, and then like when you're away, I don't know how to do it.
I mean, clearly she figured it out though. Lizzie was like, I gotta
Yes,
make this
but like
happen.
don't we have the same major? You see the dynamic of a friendship in which Lizzie's like, "Oh, okay, film me," like,
Yes.
and it's just funny because like she's so disdainful of how attention-seeking Lydia is, but
Mm,
we very much have the dynamic that Lizzie's
yeah.
kind of like the star, and you seem to Charlotte seems to want to be behind the camera more
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
not as comfortable being dragged on camera, but
Yeah,
and I think that's a common dynamic in friendships. I think the people
for
who
sure.
want to be the star sometimes
Right,
find
right.
themselves someone to support them.
And then playing different roles depending on the relationship, where you
Very much
could
so, yeah.
you could be more of like the Lydia in your friendship with Charlotte, and how you just kind of don different hats depending on what that specific dynamic is with that person.
We haven't really gotten to know that much about Charlotte yet at
Mm-hmm.
this point in the
Mm-hmm.
series.
Yeah.
People familiar with the books may have their own ideas, but we will learn, that Charlotte has very different ideas than Lizzie
Mm-hmm.
about
Mm-hmm.
the world.
Mm-hmm. Their views.
But she's such a good friend. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that you can see, I give us so much credit for the fact that we barely knew each other yet.
Right. That
And
was a lot of acting at the beginning there. We have to pretend to be best friends.
do you remember anything about that first day when we showed up at Jenny Powell's apartment and we didn't
Right.
really know?
We were all like crammed in that living room, right? And then
Well, you were. I was always in the bedroom. Like
that's right,
I
you were
never had
crammed
a
in the
break.
bedroom, and then so we had a little bit more space out in the living room, so that was like our green room slash makeup hair wardrobe area, like all of the
Yeah,
above.
I don't even think that I've discussed on the show. That's a great thing for us to explain. So these were shot in Jenny Powell's apartment,
Right.
that she shared with her now husband, Stuart Davis, who was our AD.
The majority
They
of
had a roommate too,
oh my gosh,
who
that's
eventually would
right.
like clear out.
Yeah.
But like sometimes not by 7 a.m, so that we could put the wardrobe rack in his room and like we would change in there. But the first day we didn't have a wardrobe rack yet because I remember that I had to like throw all my clothes over a
Right. We
chair.
brought that's mostly our own clothes, like those
Yes.
that
Yes.
first batch of episodes.
We very well, and the entire series.
True.
But yeah, so then Katie Most, our production designer, decorated what's on camera in
Yes.
Jenny and Stuart's bedroom that just lived there for
Yeah.
months.
Yeah. Such an
and
amazing
that door,
job. Yeah.
it's really like
Love Katie's
just
work.
well, and it does express so much character through like the whole picture of it,
It
which is
it
so
really does, and it
great.
looks so great on camera, and, like, the
Hmm.
room itself became
Especially with
so.
white walls, which is not
Yes.
ideal, that
Yes.
she created so much color and depth and then
Yeah.
that door that you see with the magazine clippings on it that's supposed to be Lydia's door, that goes to the living room.
So we would all have to be super quiet because we were all
Right.
just right there when filming was
Especially in the
happening.
episodes that Lizzie filmed with the door open. That was like
Right.
even more of a sound issue.
Right. I don't know, did you
Um,
I mean, look, if we can give people, like, an idea of what the layout of that room was, though, where we were filming. It was literally just enough room for you to be sitting there,
right.
camera
There was a bed that was pushed up against the
right
wall.
up against you.
Yeah, like that was just well, I guess if I from this side, like the wall was like that far away. Because I feel like
Right.
when you would have to be like you'd be like squished into the corner to be like behind the camera and then
Right,
coming
right.
out. Like you didn't have
Mind you, next to a director and writer. So
and camera operator.
right.
Um
Yes.
yeah, which was and that was basically it. And then on the other side, on my side, like my music stand would be just out of frame there
Mhm.
and then the bed. And
Yeah.
that was that was the whole room.
And there was really
Um
not much additional space at all. Like that
yeah,
was it.
and we didn't have things like monitor, which is partly why like hair and makeup is a little flawed
You
because
just have to let
the
it
only
be.
people the only so like on the DSLR camera that we were shooting on, we basically had like you know it has its own little this big monitor. I'm
Right.
looking at the one on mine,
Right.
and the only people looking at that were Bernie and his roommate, who was our camera operator, and neither of
Yeah.
them ever said, "Hey, your hair is doing a weird thing."
It's like, but they don't
Um,
know to look for that kind of stuff.
they don't know
You
to look
know,
for it. They're dudes, and like
it's
that's
also not
not
their
their
job
job.
necessarily. Yes.
Yeah, no, usually on a film set, and I remember they got it for Emma approved, and I was really jealous. I was like, oh, they get it.
Oh, how
Normally, you
nice.
would have a large monitor that makeup could look at and go,
Right.
yeah, I'm happy with that, or oh, wait, something needs to be fixed.
Right. Let me go in
And
and
we did not have that.
we did not.
And then Margaret, who was a writer on the show and became a
Hmm.
co-executive
Margaret
producer on the
Dunlap.
show, Margaret Dunlap, who also wrote this episode, she would act as script supervisor during every
Right.
episode, meaning that she would like sit on the bed and
Right.
go through and made sure that I said all the things that I was supposed to say, and also mark which
Right.
takes had been better. Because there were times that I was paraphrasing heavily because I
You
did
just had so
so
many
much
words.
dialogue.
So
And I'd be
many
going like,
words.
okay, but did I get the idea across? Like, can we use that? And
Hmm.
she'd be the one
Hmm.
going, yeah, or you kind of missed this like key element. I'd be like, oh god, let me try. Let me see what
Uh,
my very addled, very tired brain. Boy, by the end of those days,
oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. I mean, yeah, I
um,
remember you just watching you or like catching a glimpse of you just like flipping. Sorry, because seeing you flip through pages and pages and pages, and just like, oh my
there were a
god. And
lot of
there, it's
pages.
like so
Yeah.
I couldn't really complain if I had like maybe a heavier episode. I'm like, well, it's nowhere near like what Ashley's going through, so I should be able to I should be able to just get through this. Come on, get it together.
Well, and what's crazy is that even though no one had as many pages to do as I did, everyone was doing more pages than you would pretty much ever do on any film set. They got so lucky in casting this whole thing
I
because
mean, they really
we
got
all did a
lucky
lot.
casting you because also, I
Oh,
mean,
well,
you
thanks.
you had the training, like you came prepared and you were ready to tackle text at this volume, at this level. So I really
Thank
think
you.
maybe you spoiled them and thinking like all actors can do this, right? It's like not all, not all.
Well, thank you. I'm trying to sit in the compliment and allow it. Look, a lot of us have the impulse to be like, no, no, no. And I'm going to be a good role model and say, thank you. Yes,
Yeah,
I worked very hard. But I also want to say that the entire cast was fantastic. And
yeah.
your Charlotte added so much to the show. And so I'm very glad that you're here to revisit a bit with me. Let's take a look at the comments. Amelia Rolfe 2 years ago said, I just realized how much Lizzie's mother would be enjoying the COVID-19 crisis. Oh, that's actually, whew. That's accurate, right? I mean, like, that's she would have been like
Wow.
stockpiling goods and
She would have been
um
ready for sure.
she would have been very ready. She would have had a plan,
Yeah.
but she also would have wanted like everyone in her bubble, I think.
Oh,
There probably would have been a lot of
yeah.
scheming about how to like not be in mom's bubble.
Oh, yeah.
While
Yeah.
also keeping mom safe, obviously. Deconstruction Hamster 9 years ago says, I love how you've turned
Oh.
a classically English name into an Asian name. And we did that with 2 names because you are
Pum,
Charlotte
pum.
Lou.
Yep.
And then there's Bing
Bing
Lee.
Lee, which I thought
And
was
yeah,
so
that
clever.
was very clever. Well, thanks for joining me for this episode. I'd love to have you back.
I'd love to be
So,
back.
well, come back again. Julia and the audience, please both come back.
Please.